Hello and welcome to Highfleet. I'm Shadow Coast and welcome to the channel. In this video, we are going to focus on how to use the Longbow, which is effectively the aircraft carrier in Highfleet. So we're going to cover a fair amount of content here. This will be a slightly longer video. I will attempt to put in chapters to make this easier, so please refer to the description. Let's jump right in. I'm starting a new campaign and I picked two longbows to outline how to use them. So we are fully refueled. Before we start, we are actually going to talk about supplying our warplanes or fighter planes with ammunition. When we come into the ammo depot from supply, you scroll over to the right, you can see different ammo you can buy depending on where you are. You want to focus on aircraft bombs and missiles. It'll say aircraft bombs or missiles. When you click on this, it says that it's not suitable for any ships. However, it is suitable for your fighter aircraft, so make sure you purchase this. Now, a lot of people say bombs don't work, but it's situational. So you want to use strategy to make it work. So in this case, you do actually want bombs, and I'm going to outline why and when to use bombs with your aircraft. Great, so we've supplied up, we've fueled up. We are going to get into combat and show you how to launch your fighters and use different weapons to devastating effect. We are going to head over here to Sheba, and here's the deal. You want to launch your aircraft before you enter combat. We will also show you how to use aircraft when you are in physical combat, but it's not as effective. So we are getting close. We have hostiles detected. We're going to skip that. Now here's the deal. As soon as this shows up, I'm going to pause it. I'm going to ignore this stuff over here and show you how to launch aircraft. So we are going to zoom in here. And there's enemies in Sheba that's defending it. Now, normally, almost every city has defending enemies, at least from what I've experienced playing this game. A decent amount. So here we go. To launch aircraft, in the bottom, we have our aircraft group. So we click down to open it up, and we can launch numerous aircraft. Now, you can see here, each aircraft has different weapons you can select. So the way this works is I'm going to launch a few of these guys. I am actually going to attach bombs. Each time I click this bomb, I'm assigning an aircraft. And you see that number's going down. So I'm going to send a fair number of aircraft here. So each time I click this, I'm readying another plane to deploy. Now I have this little arrow I can assign. So I'm going to left click on this group, and we're going to launch our bombers. Now here's the deal. I attached bombs to them, high explosive bombs, and you're going to see why. Because we are doing a quick strike here in a city, they are actually on the ground resting and repairing. So these bombs actually work very well. So we're going to drop a lot of bombs. That was overkill. I probably should assign 2 planes and set up 2 different groups. So we just blew up 2 of them using bombs. So when you are attacking a city, that is when I recommend using bombs, or if you think you can catch them unawares on the ground, bombs do a lot of extra damage. Now I did lose a plane, which you're going to see, unfortunately, and we're going to talk about how to gain new aircraft. So we are going to go into combat and show you how to launch planes in combat. So we're going to put a longbow first. So when you're in combat, if you click X, launch planes by pressing X, we're going to launch a couple planes. And here's the deal. Once you launch your planes, they will help you to a small degree. So you can see they're coming in, they're launching rockets, and they actually took it out for us. Pretty good. So you want to make sure you have enough ammo for your planes to fuel them up. Once you deploy planes, you're going to see this here. We're going to skip through this real quick. We will search crew cabins. Come on, we're just trying to get through this. Great. We're not going to land anything because that takes time. Okay. We're going to first supply up. And we're going to look for aircraft bombs. We're going to buy a few more bombs. And there isn't any air-to-air missiles that we have yet. Those are really good if they're flying towards you. You're going to want to use air-to-air missiles. Let's go to ship work and see if I can outline this. They do not have aircraft, but effectively how this works, So I actually have aircraft right here. What I can do is if you have aircraft in your hold, you click on them and you apply them to the deck. And that's how you kind of ready them up from that perspective. All right. We have some intel. You can click here for intel and it tells you stuff. So we know there's a group over here. There's a strike group over here. Now the strike group is going to be probably well armed. However, we're going to launch a full-scale assault on them. So you can see here we have unready aircraft. Once they return from their mission, it will take some time to ready them up. So we're going to go with rockets, which work on the air and the ground, and send a massive group at them. We're going to send some more rockets and a few bombs. The gun does some damage, but against heavily armored enemies, it's not as good. You can try to send them to intercept missiles, but I have not had any success. So they're in the air already. So I'm glad I didn't do bombs, because the bombs, you can hit them sometimes. It's just not as effective. So we have heavily damaged this guy with rockets. Kind of a heavy strike group.
The enemy has been destroyed.
And we dropped a bomb and hit and took that guy out. Bombs are very devastating if they hit right. Now we have these guys with a ton of rockets. This guy is heavily damaged, I think, or he should be at least. We're going to hit the kind of slower moving ones. We can come in here with bombs if we wanted.
The enemy has been destroyed.
You will lose planes, so that's why when you can purchase planes or aircraft, you should. So we've softened them up considerably from that perspective. So that is how you use the longbow. We have a few more planes, so they're in the air. Even though this is not as effective, these guys might be repairing, so we're going to send them. So they are... Oh, this guy's by himself. I guess they kind of broke it into two groups. So in this case, they all hit, which was great. But sometimes if they're faster moving, it's really hard to hit them. And it looks like our planes kind of got, they ran out of ammo from that perspective. So we're going to show you, it takes some time. We're refueling. These aircraft will be ready. Okay, we have more aircraft ready. So we're going to go with, we're just going to show clicking on the guns, and then we'll have a few bombs and a rocket. So you're going to see the guns aren't as effective. Although if we have like a little guy, they'll do... oh, snap. I don't know what I just did. I think I must have clicked spacebar, potentially. I'm not sure why we're not attacking. So I'm not going to click anything here and just let it play out. Alright, so you can see here bombs aren't as effective because they miss, but we did hit this guy and send him careening out of control. He survived, but that's just to demonstrate bombs are situational. You want to use bombs when they're on the ground. You want to use rockets, and here we'll use some of the guns to show you how those work. And here we go. We have rockets, which miss because they're super fast. We do have... Sometimes the machine guns will trigger combat, but for whatever reason it kind of can be finicky. So in this case, I guess that doesn't work. So I'm not really sure, to be honest. There's still a lot about this game that I'm still figuring out. But it looks like the guns only sometimes work. Let's try it on this different type of plane real quick, just to experiment. And see if this time it works. Yeah. So they will shoot, but it might be the type of gun. I think maybe on that smaller plane or that other plane we don't have that ability. So you can see it does very minimal damage, if any.
Target destroyed.
Oh, well, it does damage, so it just doesn't do a lot of damage. These are kind of lighter enemies. So we lost a couple planes, so that was not worth it. But this is just a demonstration video on how to use a longbow. Alright, well that about covers it. That is how you use a longbow. Make sure that when you, to purchase planes, you do purchase planes in the shipworks. They'll be like on the left component side, so you can buy them sometimes. We didn't find a spot this time, but I don't want to make this video any more longer. We're already over 10 minutes here. Thank you so much for watching. I am actively trying to grow my channel, so if you do want to support the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you did find this video helpful, please drop a thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you in future videos. Shadow Coast out.